Welcome back, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
All right, Joe here, by the way.
Kevin.
So, season 7.
Yeah.
Great premiere.
Of course.
Somebody on Patreon pointed out, this is not a spoiler, but we missed it in the opening, the cold open we got last week.
Yeah.
Apparently, CJ has a baby with Danny.
Oh, really? I did not catch that.
We did not catch that.
Yeah.
So,
some people commented on there, and I agree. I wish they didn't do that cold open. I regret that cold open being there because I feel like there's too much information given going into the last season. I mean, I get that they wanted to do a little bit of a spoiler, or like a little bit of a tease for, the president almost showed up, but you don't get to see who it is. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there was an awful big cost to that.
Yeah.
We see how things kind of go for some of the characters. See how they end after the show. I would be fine, at the end of the finale if they would kind of cover some of that or whatever.
Yeah. It kind of makes me wonder what else they're withholding, because that is kind of like we do see the end game. We know what we're heading towards now. Yeah,
we see some of the denouement for some of the main characters, and I don't know that I really like that.
I guess I'll feel a certain way about it at the very end, I guess. You know what I mean?
It's like the Cuba episode that we didn't like last season, right?
Yeah.
In that we watched the episode, we were very blah on the episode, but it was, hey, it depends on what happens next to really determine how we feel about that episode. Like, how do they follow it up?
How they land the plane?
And they didn't land the plane, which was like, okay, so that episode was just kind of a mess that was there. Yeah. And I feel like kind of the same thing. I'm with you, right? However they end the show will make me then I'll reevaluate that cold open.
Yeah, when we get some context.
Right. Maybe it's fine and maybe it's not. I feel like it was a little more spoilery than I like. Like some of the comments have been getting lately, guys. Easy on the spoilers, please.
Yeah.
This is the first time we're watching.
And this is the beginning of the last season, so you guys have done so well for
we've done so well for
Please
so long.
Don't spoil the last season.
Let's keep that. We don't need to know anything that hasn't happened yet.
And I think right now, as it's going, obviously we have the campaign happening, and we're very invested in that, right? I want to know what's up with the leak.
Yeah.
Because I would have bet at the end of the last season it was CJ. Now I'm not so sure. Now I don't know.
I don't think it was CJ because they're leaning so hard on it being CJ. I think there's going to be, the farther we get into it, the more I'm thinking, no, they were telegraphing CJ from step one.
Yeah.
And if it would have been something shorter, like if it had been resolved in the last episode, I would say, okay, it could be CJ. But this seems like it's something we're going to go a while too into the season, which makes me think less and less that it's CJ.
And it was all about the scenes with Babish, right? Like, all those scenes with her and Babish, I'm like, I don't think she did this. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
Unless she's one heck of an actress, or, she can really keep her cards close to her.
No, I think she's genuinely indignant. I don't think she's sweating it, right?
Yeah.
I think she's innocent.
Yeah.
But I don't think Babish thinks she is.
I agree. I totally agree with that, honestly. Because he was asking her, who'd you tell?
Right.
And I think, if anything, she might feel guilty because she's like, oh, who did I tell? Did somebody I tell and, obviously give this information up? And maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's one of those secrets that people know but don't know that half a dozen people knew. She said who she told.
But I don't think any of them would, though. That's the thing. Is like
I don't know. I do know that all of them probably have the same level of security clearance that she does, that she talked to.
Yeah.
She didn't go out and she didn't tell a reporter that we saw, right?
Yeah.
And she certainly didn't tell a boyfriend or sister or whatever, or dad or anything else like that. So anyone she would have talked to about it would have had the clearance, I think, to know it. Obviously the issue isn't that. The issue is who got it to a reporter, and I don't think it's her.
Yeah. Why should it be Hutchinson?
That'd be okay. I've never really cared much for that guy.
I don't like him either.
All right, let's get started. I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here. Thank you, guys. Give a special thank you to our super patrons. AB, Actuary Looker, Balish Foldes, Chris, Derek Peterson, MPC93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverson, NJ, Sudagunda Vorapu, Torgeir Lingstad, Trey Contreras, WearPanda47, Natasha Norris, and Yannick from Montreal. Thanks a lot, guys. We're glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
We do have a Patreon linked in the description below. We're way ahead on all shows over there of where we are on YouTube. You're going to have to sync and watch along on your own source material there due to copyright law. Just going to see and hear us.
Yep.
You wanted the message plan for Monday's bill signing. Scheduling in advance is thinking little flags.
Messages.
This is America.
Not to be unpatriotic, but they do realize this is a fisheries bill.
With Brock refusing to answer grand jury questions on his source for the top.
So Brock's going to be locked up until he gives it up.
Yeah.
What's this?
The President and White House counsel want to put out a statement.
I don't think Vinick will stomp all over this, not to mention Santos.
I think the President and White House counsel want it out.
Yeah, I do too.
If the country doesn't like it, I'll be the first one unemployed.
Where are we?
Yeah.
None of us.
Okay, we're
Okay, cool.
hangar.
That was a cool reveal, actually.
It was,
yeah.
I thought, are we in a prison?
For a second, I was like, "This is like a movie set." Where are we at?
I like
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's a really cool edit. Yeah.
Is this still the West Wing?
In the future, computers will weigh no more than 1.5 tons.
Yeah. That's it. This is the dream. 2 presidential candidates that both deserve the job.
I know.
Should be easy to do in a country of 300 and something million people, but
What a thought, right?
yeah.
It is. You mentioned it last week. It's interesting how he's how Vinick is just kind of like always in the background. He's always on the TV or something. He's just kind of like this.
He's an ominous presence for these guys.
He's just overshadowing the whole thing.
Yeah.
What are those boxes?
People think campaigns are about 2 competing answers to the same question. They're not. Now, Vinick is opening up a big lead on security issues. That's box number 1. But we're way ahead on most domestic issues.
What's in box number 3?
Trivia, ephemera, every speech, every public event. Box number 2.
CNN says the White House is about to make a big announcement about the National Security Leak.
Tell me you're going to damp down this leak story and
We're
not...
stopping our internal investigation to cooperate with Congress and the grand jury.
Santos is going to get tarred with this.
Santos has been trailing.
Oh, nope, nothing to talk about it. So Josh and Toby still hate each other.
Yeah, we've got to resolve that.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. New intro?
I wasn't paying. I never really paid attention to the intro, so
I don't remember seeing
I was kind of zoned out.
We probably shouldn't be watching it just in
Right,
case they
yeah.
do want to slip another character in there. You know what I mean?
Keep away from the press. No talking to the press till we hear what Vinick says.
If that were my White House, I'd seal the doors and windows until we found that leaker.
Vinick's gonna ride this high for a while.
Yeah.
Any comment on this drags us into a bad story, miles off our economic message.
All this attention on the leak story, it's magnifying the inevitable mommy problem.
When voters want a national daddy, someone to be tough, and they vote Republican. When they want a mommy, they vote Democratic.
On domestic issues, we're 3 points up.
So we avoid the press and leave them no choice but to cover our economic message.
I'd be so tired of buses and planes by the end of a presidential campaign.
Yeah.
It's Josh, again. I told him to call Toby. He insisted on talking to you.
Yeah, Toby's gonna hang up on him.
Yeah, they're not talking to each other.
It was a legal decision.
And you work in the most politicized square footage in the country.
The President wants a fair investigation.
I am begging you, get the politics out of this.
You're the one putting politics in it.
Right now, I am the only thing between Matt Santos and the megaphone through which he is going to trash his own party's White House.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
The press wants to write about the security leak. We want them to write about the economy. Let's show a little leg. I'm running a national campaign here.
By yourself? You have to hire some heavyweights. You don't have a political director, you don't have a chief speechwriter, you don't even have a communications director.
I'm Bill. They told me to show up after 10?
Absolutely. Welcome.
So Josh is trying to do everything.
Yeah, run a campaign by himself.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the savvy to play the big game. This is your desk. Policy working group starts at 3.
And that's when I installed the new phone lines?
He's not even the right guy.
We're about to sit down with the top media consultants in the party.
These guys just want a slice of the DNC media budget. We bring them in, slide them a contract so they won't snipe at us on Meet the Press. Thank you all for coming to this high-level strategy meeting. This is probably the greatest assemblage of Democratic talent since the last time Jed Bartlett dined alone. Especially the economy with a little discipline.
Oh, that's
we can ride out today's press storm. We're trying to run a positive campaign, especially while the voters are...
Josh is distracted.
Just by Janine getting her cup of coffee?
Yeah. You don't really want our input on message. Everybody's here for a piece of the DNC media budget, so get to the point, please.
We're excited about the media buy.
What if I did want your advice on the message?
That would be hard to give.
And why is that?
Because you don't have one.
Okay, hire her.
Yeah.
The symbolic, something you can put on a bumper sticker that tells people who Matt Santos is. Because 8 days after the nominating convention, I still don't have a clue. I just came by to see if this was the Josh Lyman vanity exercise everyone says it is. If I take your money, how can I snipe at you on Meet the Press?
Hire her, yeah.
I think Josh is in love. He's like, who are you?
You and I haven't always been on the same side.
All I know about Santos is what the country knows. He's smart and he's cute.
That's better than fat and dumb.
That's such a good bumper sticker. You don't need me.
Fat and dumb works for voters sometimes.
Yeah, your face said it all there.
You saw Vinick on TV this morning, and he was authentic. He was Neil Young to your Neil Diamond.
I like Neil Diamond.
I like Neil Diamond too, yeah, thank you.
How about moving the conversation to the fact that while Santos was serving in the Gulf, Vinick was serving himself Chardonnay?
We're not going negative. Not now. Not first.
Why are you always talking about high-tech jobs? Because Vinick uses a manual typewriter and his future's a set of plastic gums.
This New York Post still thinks today's lunch was canceled because we're hiding from the leak story.
Tell them we cancel lunches all the time. We're fast and nimble and move like the night, okay?
Move like the night.
If Congressman signs off, I'm hiring you as Director of Communications, answering directly to me.
I don't have any desire to play tambourine in your one-man band.
I am asking you to meet with the next President of the United States.
How do you say
That's
no
a
to
good sale.
that?
That's a good sales pitch there.
Brock still wants a few minutes.
Tell him no in Norwegian if you have to. That would be nosk.
Counsel's office says the first round of congressional subpoenas are coming, and they always start with junior staff.
Okay.
If there's anything you want me to...
I want you to tell the truth.
I think you're good, Margaret.
Yeah.
There's a story on their website. It says that Santos has canceled 4 lunch events in the last 2 weeks.
They got a story that we're canceling lunch events?
4 in 2 weeks. They're calling it Santos Siesta.
When I said tell the Post we cancel lunches all the time, the point wasn't to emphasize
That we cancel lunches all the time.
Right.
That is what happens when you fight scandal with Spritch.
Yeah, I think so too at this point.
Yeah. When you get down to it, it's like it's time to do something.
This isn't about the leak story.
Oh, don't tell me there's another.
This one you're gonna like. So is this covered under Josh's press memo or what?
No, it's in Josh's scheduling memo.
God, the pace of all this would drive me nuts. I'd be exhausted.
I'm a little stressed by it, honestly. Yeah. It's fascinating, though.
Yeah.
I have a way to close the security gap overnight. You've been called up for reserve training in Fort Worth, Texas for 2 days. This is everything we couldn't do at the convention. You in fatigues, wind in your hair, trench knife in your teeth.
It won't look like a stunt.
You're just following orders. We're about to make a big announcement. Congressman's doing reserve duty in Texas.
That is going to be an impressive photo opportunity.
Yeah, for real.
We need to lay it out for the press. Dates, details, how he's done this every year like clockwork. Just when it needs.
He's postponed it a few times.
Oh, no.
For critical national security votes in the Congress.
Usually to campaign for re-election, I think.
So that means he could reschedule if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's going to look opportunistic.
Witness list for the congressional hearings, what I could get anyway.
Greg Brock will refuse to testify. I've been avoiding him all day.
As you should.
So Greg's going to get locked up.
That'll look like a stunt, won't it?
14 weeks before the election, trailing on security. It'll look like Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus.
What did you think of the reverse town hall?
I didn't like your joke about being the first one unemployed. Unemployment's not particularly funny.
Was there anything that you liked about the town hall?
But I assume you have plenty of people around to tell you how great you are, and if you don't, you should hire some, because they're wonderful.
Yeah. Say, are you familiar with the mommy problem?
I am. And I'm wondering if it's just Josh, or if you have what it takes to come out of the candidate protection program and start kicking back.
I like the desire to run a clean campaign, but they're in a mess right now.
They are.
Ed said he's postponed his reserve drilling about a third of the time.
41%, and whoever gave that letter to Time has to know that too. Reporting for reserve duty right after Labor Day, looking like a gun-toting, flag-waving phony.
May I ask what your...
It's a law school study trick. Not getting up till we figure this out.
Okay, I was wondering what
I was like, what are you doing,
yeah.
buddy? Yeah.
Stay seated. I got the high with me. Just wanted you to know that I got Lou to come on board, Director of Communications. One small condition.
What's that?
Reporting directly to me.
The AP's got some kind of photograph. Something that took place at our hotel in Cleveland last week.
Photograph?
Of the congressman's bed.
What?
What's happening?
Is whatever it is.
Yeah, it's big.
AP has a photograph. Something that happened in Cleveland in your hotel bed. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
His name is Bruce. He's a flight attendant on Aer Lingus.
What?
And at first it was long walks along the Reaper.
Okay.
Okay.
God,
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's my job. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Cleveland?
I don't understand what happened.
He wouldn't let me
What?
in his
Oh
room
my
that
God, what's
morning.
happening?
Is anyone going to tell me what happened?
He demolished his bed.
Demolished it.
It was his wife's only night on the road. It was an old wooden bed.
Okay.
They broke it together. Get it?
Yeah. Hurricane Santos.
You repeat that outside this room.
The hotel proprietor claims the bed was steel reinforced.
Jeez.
Jeez. In the picture.
Yeah.
What did you do?
We have a bigger problem than Helen's Ohio surprise.
Oh my God, don't call it that.
He's postponed it 41% of the time.
You won't lift a finger against Beltway Arnie Vinick.
I'm not going negative. Not when people barely know who Santos is.
And a vacuum gets filled.
Yeah, a vacuum gets filled.
Yeah.
You're my new communications director. You're supposed to help me solve this problem.
You're the problem, not some box on a grid. No deviation from some Jonestown-like obsession with your pals at the White House.
Okay.
I think she's right.
Yeah.
Greg Brock is in your office.
Why is Greg Brock in my office?
He walked in, he wouldn't leave. I didn't think you'd want me to call the Secret Service.
Would you please leave this office before I call in an armored division?
I have a question about daycare. Bella's 4.5. Now, she can live with her mom while I'm in prison, but her mom travels for her job. I wouldn't talk to the grand jury. The judge held me in contempt. I report to Cumberland Minimum Security Prison tomorrow.
Just name your source.
So it's not her. It is definitely not her.
It's definitely not her.
Nope,
Yeah.
it is not her.
Okay. I'm glad we got the confirmation.
Yeah. Unless she was saying name your source and she was talking about herself, but I doubt it.
Didn't feel that way.
No.
She seemed surprised.
Yeah.
Honey, bring a sledgehammer with you when we meet in Michigan and we can... I gotta go.
Helen's Ohio surprise.
They're fighting about the bed story, yeah.
I knew it'd be hard to hit back against the phony, superficial crap.
I don't think it's phony or superficial. These stories only stick when it confirms what people already think. Nobody knows what to think. You haven't given anybody an alternative formulation on who he is, so he's taking body blow after body blow. You have to resign your commission, Congressman.
Sir, she's right.
Because I moved it around a few times.
Because you're a Democrat who wears a uniform when it fits his schedule. Why'd you even leave active duty? You went to Annapolis for free. The taxpayers were supporting your military career.
And by resigning, I'm saying what?
That you are ready to be president of the United States.
Vinick's comments called into question the Santos campaign's unflinching support of the Bartlett White House.
So now can we revisit the Bartlett question?
Oh, hi. Let me introduce myself. I'm the problem.
I am completely untethered to your crazy cult of personality. What is unethical about saying Jed Bartlett is a great president? But in this one instance, this lapse in security, he goofed.
Yeah, I think that's fair too, yeah.
Do you think Vinick participated in last night's tracking poll?
What is this?
Polling question from last night's track.
Was the president right to end his own investigation of a classified security leak? Yes, 27. No, 54. Are you suggesting that I criticize the president?
I don't want you thinking I'm holding back the data.
So, I'm going to address this once. Just this once. No way was that bed still reinforced.
Oh my God.
You know, if that were my White House, I'd call in the FBI. I'd play it by the law, not by politics. And in case you haven't noticed, that's exactly what this president is doing.
This does suck.
Yeah, no, it sucks a lot. Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not giving up his source.
Yeah.
They're giving the same shot they did when they set her up as a leaker, but I don't buy it.
I've been thinking about the reason I beat you in those 3 primaries. It's because you wouldn't pound your candidates like I did.
I've been thinking about the reserve drill. I think you should do it. Get the past postponements out today ahead of the letter. If they slam us for it, we'll deal with it.
Look out the window.
You turn the plane around?
We're going to Fort Worth. He said I could get out of the way right now if I want. That commission's the reason why I'm on this plane. I'm not giving it up.
Sorry about Lou before. Some of her ideas are a little extreme.
That doesn't mean I don't need to hear them. You were right about the president, Josh, and Louise was right about leaving a vacuum. I need to hear it all.
I agree.
We're gonna beat him on security issues. We're gonna beat him on domestic issues. We're gonna beat him on trivia, too.
Nice.
Yeah. I like the confidence.
I did too.
I think this was the first hanger they used in the opening shot, too. They just did them both.
Yeah, probably.
I think so, too. There should be a million photos of this.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
He looks great.
Jumping off the deck, jumping in overdrive.
I really wish that was the needle drop right now.
We jumped 4 points on security in last night's poll.
What about the gender
Right.
gap?
Half the press are calling it a stunt. Yeah, but all the press is running the footage. Edie, get Helen's schedule. We want her on the road with the congressman at least 3 days when he gets back from Texas.
A lot of active camera work again in this episode.
It's like breakneck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great.
Plus economic analysis.
Yeah. Standard service.
No matter how they feel about it, everyone's taking the pictures.
Oh, and back to Vinick.
Yep.
I love it. I love how they're framing him this season. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's such a great idea.
He's always there, even when he's not the focus of the episode.
Yeah, he's always just on the TV. It's so clever.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Straight up, they started in the elevator.
I know. Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's an interesting angle. I was like,
I did not see this coming. I didn't know it was a fake until Josh laughed.
I was like, he's having an affair. I was like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to have an affair. You know what I mean? I was like, okay.
Well, he sold it so well.
He did sell it so well.
Josh caught on before I did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
His name's Bruce. He's a pilot. He's a flight attendant.
Like, what? Yeah. Okay, good job, West Wing.
Yeah, also,
you got me.
I love the idea of some creepy guy being like, that's my president. You know what I mean? Like, I'm voting for that guy.
You're right.
But no, yeah, I like that look, we've known to let Bartlett be Bartlett for so long, right? It feels like we're letting Santos be Santos.
Yeah, I mean that's a lesson that we're paralleling Leo running Bartlett's campaign with Josh running Santos's, and it was a thing that Leo had to learn. To let Bartlett be Bartlett, right?
Yeah.
And it's a thing now that Josh is learning with Santos. You know what? You're running the guy because you think he's the guy. That means you have to trust that he's the guy too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just you knowing best. And this was a really good episode to show that, right? Josh is trying to do everything on the campaign because he doesn't trust anybody else.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's the only one that can do or has the vision to do this. He's got all the skills himself.
That's what I mean. That's what she said at the beginning. Like, you run it all by yourself.
Yeah, and she said when she showed up, she's like, I just want to see if this was the Josh Lyman vanity exercise everyone says it is, and it kind of is. You know?
Yeah. He's just such a firm believer in Santos, though. You know what I mean? Like,
he is,
and he's a very hands-on guy, obviously, and
right.
So like to have that confidence in yourself and just like want to rock it your own way. I get it.
Yeah,
but. You need some help, man.
yeah. You're running a national presidential campaign now. You're down to the two candidates.
Yeah.
You can't be in charge of everything, and you know it's one of those things where Josh believes in the candidate, and I really think he does, but I don't know that he trusts the candidate or anybody else. He's got to be the one really pulling the strings on everything.
Yeah,
and he's struggling letting that go.
You're
going to have to let it go. This is a monster now, this campaign. It's not the two guys in the car anymore in New Hampshire.
No, it's not. It's so so different than that.
You know, you've got to just delegate it out.
Yeah. And it's like the gloves have to come off eventually too, right? I mean, like,
yeah, it's gonna have to, because
like they're coming at him so hard, right? That's why I think it's time. We got to get a Vinick centered episode again.
We will, for sure.
I think we will, but like I need it now because like this episode I need it juxtaposed with some more Vinick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to see the ins and outs of that campaign, how that's being ran. What is their strategy? You know, show us Stephen Root. Show us the other actress that's on the. I can't remember her name.
The lady from Home Improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we have to because Santos made such a strong leap.
Yeah.
In this episode, right, in terms of like the numbers and everything, like he's coming out swinging now, and he's it's going his way. Now we need to see how Vinick responds to that and what his campaign does.
Yeah, and like I said, like I'm very confident they're going to do it, and I like how we like both candidates.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sold on one. Up to the very end. I don't
either.
I want to be back and forth. I want to be undecided by the end of the show.
I would love it. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I'm loving Santos with each episode because like the minute one, the first time we met Vinick, I was like, this guy rocks. You know what I mean?
I feel like both of them had such strong entrances onto the show.
They did, but I want to say
Santos with his healthcare plan. Yeah.
But even when we met Santos, I was like, oh, he's a cool dude. But like I'm like, Vinick is amazing.
Yeah.
But no, each episode they're really fleshing out the Santos storyline. It's amazing. Sure. I love the writing this season. I love the writing at the end of last season. It's just this is the most exciting the show has been.
I think so in a long time.
Time.
Yes, it's like since the campaign in season 4 that
somebody got kidnapped.
Right.
So yeah, this is an amazing season, and I think we're so lucky.
Yeah,
to have the writing be this good.
And I'm really hoping that whoever leaked the information to Greg Brock comes forward because Greg Brock is going to do time for you, whoever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that guy's going to prison for contempt of contempt of Congress or contempt of court. I'm not sure exactly who he refused to answer questions to, but he's getting locked up. Somebody is staying out of jail. So, Greg's going to jail so someone else can stay out.
So we know it's not CJ. I mean,
I feel like we were very strongly dissuaded from being CJ, which is give up your source.
But it is interesting that they used the same shot, though.
Right.
That revealing shot of her in the TV.
I don't
think it's her. I really don't think it's her.
And I don't think they used the same shot in the same way. I think the first time they used it was to make us think it was her. I think this time is just to get her, my God, he's going to jail over this reaction. I don't think it was to again... I think the show is letting us know the leak is not CJ at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know who it is, but they're definitely saying CJ is not the one who leaked it.
Well, someone at Patreon said the leak storyline goes on for a while. I'm fine with it because it is so interesting. And kind of like the campaign, we're getting more and more with it each episode. You know what I mean? It reveals itself as the show goes on, and I could easily watch another couple weeks of that.
It would be crazy if it was Margaret.
That's why she had that crazy. That's why she had that crazy look on her face.
All right, we'll catch you next one, guys. Thanks.
See ya.